Today, we're going to be running through the True Unleashed experience through Project 06. And what I mean by that is we're going to be running through 6 Unleashed inspired mods through Project 06. And there's a few people I'd like to thank for creating these mods. And those two people are Lokester, that created the Savannah Citadel mod, Styx Unleashed for creating the Rooftop Run DLC mod, Hydrozen 15th for creating Dragon Road, and then Beats for creating Windmill Isle Act 1 and 4 and the Unleashed Sonic mod. But with introductions out of the way, let's jump into Project 06. So as we can see here, it actually looks like Beats went ahead and installed a different animation for this overall character mod right here. He actually goes ahead and does his S-Rank animation from Sonic Unleashed, which is really cool to see. The old mod that we had done in a previous video with Metal Sonic actually didn't have one, so it's really cool to see that he's starting to add animations into his different character mods. And the first stage that we're starting off here is Windmill Isle Act 1. I thought it was right to go through this one first here just for the fact that it is the first stage instead of Sonic Unleashed, so I thought it'd be a good kind of starting point here as well. I'm also kind of thinking that I know that he has a super form within this mod as well, so I might at the end of the video go ahead and try to show off that to see what his super form looks like, or if it is any different at all through this stage as well. So stick around to the end of the video if you want to see his super form. And Unleashed Sonic isn't just your typical character swap as well. If you actually notice, we're actually going ahead and boosting here. So what Beats went ahead and did here is he actually went ahead and added, yes, all of his different kind of character renders and everything like that, and also added Jason Griffith as his voice line, but he also went ahead and added the mechanic of boosting and sidestepping, as we can see here, which is a pretty crazy mechanic, and it honestly makes this feel like I'm just playing Sonic Unleashed at this point. It's hard to believe that this is even Project 06 that we're playing within this game. It's crazy to think how far modding has actually come, even within this game, and even games like Generations and Frontiers. Like, it honestly gets to the point where this is just kind of the definitive way to play the game. Obviously, Project 06 is still like more towards its beginning when it comes to modding. There isn't a bunch of mods out there, but it's really cool to kind of see the direction that they're kind of going through. And even with like Beats, I know that we've done his Metal Sonic mod. He's done a fabulous job with creating some of these character mods, and these stages are almost to a T of what they were at Unleashed. It's hard to kind of tell what I'm playing at this point because it feels so similar to Unleashed. It does feel a little different, I won't lie. It doesn't feel exactly like it. It's just a little different, but it's definitely really close, and it's kind of like scary close how like similar this is. I will say sometimes his boost, and maybe it's just something that I'm doing wrong, I will say his boost sometimes is kind of becoming a little wacky. It kind of just doesn't like perform the way that I think it does. I feel like I press boost sometimes and it doesn't necessarily come out, but I think it might be something that maybe I'm not understanding within this mod. But sometimes you have to be careful because I feel like a lot of these stages aren't going to be, meant for me to be boosting around in. So that's a really interesting thing, and something that I'll have to look out through these future stages as well. But I really like that we're starting to see character mods, especially character mods like this that are so in depth and so precise to what they actually were in the other games. I saw that there are a few more coming out here soon. I did see that there's a Heroes, and I think someone created a Frontiers Sonic mod, which is really cool. So it'll be really cool to see what modders continue to do in the future for stages and different characters. So here we are running through Savannah Citadel Act 1, and Savannah Citadel, for some reason, has always been so nostalgic to me. I don't know what it is, and I think it's just this kind of like opening phase here where you're kind of, have the drift ability and everything like that you have in Sonic Unleashed. Something about it just makes me feel so nostalgic, and I just tried to boost through him and it did not go the way that I expected it to. But it is kind of crazy just to, feel just overall like how similar this is to Unleashed. And honestly, why don't we have Unleashed on PC? It's cool to see that they added, colors to Steam and everything like that. And it sounds like they're kind of, teasing with what they're going to be doing next for it. And uh-oh, I gotta be careful here. It sounds like they're kind of teasing, with Sega and some of the people that work there, kind of teasing, certain things within it and seeing, what people want is like the next Steam game or anything like that. And I know that they were kind of saying, that isn't guaranteed that there is going to be any more, but it'd be really cool to see Unleashed be one of those titles. Like, overall, what the modding community has done for games like Generations, Frontiers, or even now starting with this game, I know it is a fan-made game, but still, even with just Sonic 06 in general, I think it'd be pretty crazy to see what they'd be able to do in Unleashed. I think that they could come up with some pretty crazy stuff, and I will say that I think I found a little bit more of a love for Unleashed when they did the Unleashed project in Generations. Generations is kind of more of my definitive way of playing, 3D boosting Sonic. It's just always kind of been a preference of mine. I feel like he runs a little bit better, controls a little bit more better, and overall just the way Sonic, kind of functions and everything like that. I feel like that's kind of more the definitive way to play the daytime stages, but it'd be really cool to kind of see what some people could do for, the Werehog stages. And I don't necessarily dislike the Werehog stages, but I wouldn't say I necessarily like them. I kind of dislike how long the stages can be sometimes. It just feels like you're kind of playing Werehog the whole time instead of playing daytime stages. But that was a big thing, you know, when I was a kid, is I didn't really like the Werehog, and that was a big reason why it took me so long to complete Sonic Unleashed in the first place. But overall, I kind of had to, you know, go back and get some of the Moon and Sun medals within certain stages, and I remember seeing that and being like, I'm not going back and playing those long stages to get those different medals, screw this. And then, like, months later, I had eventually went back and kind of complete the game, but it took me a while to actually beat Unleashed initially. Alright, and here we have Rooftop Run Act 4, so as you can notice here, we're actually not Unleashed Sonic anymore. We actually have to play through this with the regular Sonic 06, just because it is actually a Mach Speed section. I initially played this mod a little bit ago, and I realized that I hadn't been recording my gameplay at all within OBS, and I remember playing this with Unleashed Sonic, and it completely messed up the whole stage where I wasn't able to progress a certain distance. I think I got to like up here, and then I couldn't like progress anymore. But then I realized it's actually a Mach Speed section. But it'd be really cool to kind of see, you know, some other Mach Speed section stages as well, just because, you know, it does run so nice and smoothly through Project 06 with being able to navigate and everything. Obviously, Mach Speed sections are atrocious in the regular 06, just having, you know, so many obstacles and it's so hard to run through stuff. Even like with Wave Ocean being able to not clear beginning of that like loop-de-loop in the beginning of the end of the stage. But it would be really cool to kind of see what other stages that some people could maybe do for Mach Speed sections. It's definitely not what I thought when I had downloaded this mod as a Mach Speed section, but I'm actually really glad it was, because it's actually a really fun time to play through some of these stages. And I always thought that it would be kind of cool to see like a Mach Speed section type of game where Sonic is just going at his like true speed in a way. Because realistically, have we ever had a game besides Project 06 where Sonic truly runs this fast? Like, it'd be really cool to kind of see, you know, maybe like a spin-off game where he has a bunch of stages running through Mach Speed like this that actually controls properly like Project 06 does. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be like that great of an idea, but I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of see like a spin-off game that's similar to that. And you could use like different characters besides Sonic. And this is Rooftop Run Act 5, so I went ahead and put Unleashed Sonic back again, and you can notice right away that there is a bunch of enemies that are going to just start trying to blast you as soon as you spawn, so you kind of have to hurry up and make sure that you're, you know, going through the stage before you get blasted here. But this stage overall, you have to be really patient with, because some of the certain areas right here, if you're not careful, your homing attack will actually end up killing you. So honestly, my biggest advice is if you're playing this, wait for your homing reticle to pop up and then go in for the attack, because I definitely had died quite a few times in my first kind of attempt through this, just because I was trying to speedrun this stage as fast as possible, but it actually ended up killing me in the end. So you have to be really careful within the certain sections here. But I believe that this stage is inspired off the Unleashed DLC, where they had some more challenge type stages inside of the different areas of the game. And this is one of them, so we're kind of, you know, in the air and everything like that. We can't be on the ground, and we're just kind of, you know, destroying enemies along the way. So you have to be really careful with everything. And kind of how we have the challenge run here, it'd be really interesting to see if they did that within the Frontiers DLC. I know that there's adding some different challenge stuff within that. So it'd be kind of cool to see if, you know, maybe some different cyberspace levels or different hub worlds within Frontiers had something similar to this, where we're kind of, you know, doing more of a challenge. Alright, so here we are inside of Dragon Road Act 1, and this is actually the nighttime stages. So we've been playing through a bunch of daytime stages, but there actually is one nighttime stage mod inside of Dragon Road, which is super cool. So instead of playing as Sonic through the stage here, we actually go ahead and play through Knuckles, is what the modder intends this to be with, just to make it more similar to the Werehog. Obviously, we don't have the same mechanics or anything like that as the Werehog, it's the same with the enemies as well. But Knuckles having more of that kind of, you know, fighting kind of style to him within this game kind of makes it very similar to that. And it's actually really cool to see, like, you know, different character mods for different characters. I hope we can kind of continue to see that. It'd be really cool to kind of see, you know, some different stages, you know, with like Blaze and stuff like that. Maybe some different like Sonic Rush type stages are inspired off of that. Or also even like different, you know, Rouge or Omega or even Tails would be really cool. I know that there are some shadow stages like Radical Highway within this that have been made. Let me know if you guys want to see me play through those as well. Those look really fun. But it'd be really cool once the, you know, the Silver release and everything like that comes out to see, you know, what possibly, you know, they would decide to do with that. Because definitely, I really like Silver's story, and I definitely think he's an underrated character when it comes to Sonic 06. It's just kind of crappy, you know, that he got his spotlight within Sonic 06 and never was kind of within a mainline Sonic game again, just for the fact, you know, that he had such a, you know, bad, you know, introduction with Sonic 06. So I wish he kind of got a second chance with everything. And I think that they can make some of the psychokinetic powers super cool within that. It'd also be really cool to kind of see with some character mod stuff like that. I'm sure that stuff with like Shadow and stuff, they'll do like Mephiles and certain things like that, or even like Knuckles with Tikal. It'd be really cool to kind of see some of those character mods eventually come to Project 06, so I guess we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do, but some of the modders are doing an amazing job so far. But the next stage, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go back to Windmill Isle Act 1 created by Beats, and I'm going to try out Sonic's super form within his Unleashed Sonic mod. Alright, so here we are back again in Windmill Isle Act 1, so I'm going to take this one a little bit more slower, just so we can collect some rings to turn into Super Sonic here. So if I'm kind of, you know, being a little bit slow around here, definitely not, you know, speed running, that is the reason why here. So I'm going to try to collect as many rings as possible. I think I should be able to get Super Sonic if I collect some of these ring boxes up here. We're actually really close. We're at 46, so maybe this will let me do it. There we go. We got a 20 ring box. Perfect. I'm going to jump off this one just to get a little bit more so we can run through the whole stage with them. Okay. Uh-oh. Into Super Sonic, and ooh, the custom animation right there, that is sick. Okay, so as you can notice, he is more similar to the Unleashed Super Sonic with the longer quills and everything like that. And I really enjoy, you know, Super Sonic's longer quills within Unleashed Sonic. I really wish that sometimes, you know, within, you know, Forces or even stuff like that, with Frontiers and everything, I kind of wish we had his longer quills back. I feel like that's just kind of like the definitive, you know, Sonic for me, where, you know, he has some, you know, longer quills and everything like that. I think that is a super cool touch with everything, and I think that makes Sonic, you know, the best looking in my personal opinion. I know some people might like the shorter quills or more of like the medium length quills, but Unleashed Sonic I feel like is the best Sonic has ever looked, to be honest with you. And they definitely could, you know, change him up every once in a while, which is totally fine, but I feel like what they did with Forces and everything, making his quills super short, was just a little bit weird for me. Ooh, I kind of have a cool little boost right there. That is sick. Okay. As you can notice, sometimes, you know, in certain areas his quills kind of go down. It may seem like, you know, maybe that the mod isn't fully complete when it comes to Super Sonic. But overall, it actually looks super pretty, and I love his custom animations that he went ahead and did when he transforms and everything like that. But he looks super nice and super pretty right there. I'm super impressed with this character mod from Beats. So there you have it. That is the Unleashed experience within Project 06. I'd like to thank every single modder that contributed to each of these stages and the character mods. I know we have some previous videos where we also covered their other stuff, but I'm excited to see what else they decide to create within the future of this game. But with all that being said, be sure to comment down below, like the video, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified of when I do upload, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!